Amen. I'm going to do 3 minutes. And I'm looking out to the audience, and all I can say is thank you so much, Teresa Michelle Washington. I'm not hanging with you anymore. Thank you. To my pastor and first lady, respect to you, and to the elders, ministers, and missionaries. Of course, I will only be before you 2.5 minutes at this point. Matthew chapter 16, verse 19 says this. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. I just want to speak just a few minutes on this. 2 minutes. I got the key. I got the key. When I was small, my mother did not trust me to drive. She would not let me touch her car. She would not let me move it out of the driveway. She would not let me even sit on her lap and press the brakes. She wouldn't let me do any of that stuff. She relied on me to go to high school and sit with a driver's ed teacher who would teach me various things. She never would, and they said, wait a minute, I was with a class of people who had already driven. And so when they came to me, they said, haven't you ever drove before? I said, no. They said, well, today is your day, you get ready to go out. Problem was, they handed me a key. And I was happy. And I said, oh, I got the key. But I didn't know what that really meant, because I had a key, but I didn't understand how to use the key. Because I had never experienced being in a car and driving the car. So they said, stick the key in the ignition. And I'm looking at them like, what are you talking about? They said, you mean to tell me you got a key? You've seen a key before. I said, yeah. But you don't know how to use it? I said, no. Come on. They said, okay, well, here's the ignition. Stick it in the ignition. They looked at me like, you don't know. They said, take the key and turn it over. And so here we are today on this Sunday, and I want you to understand this. If you have a key, you can get something started. All you have to understand is God is saying, listen, I've given you a key. That means whatever I've given you, get it started. Light a fire wherever you go. God says, I've given you the power of life and death to begin to speak into the atmosphere, to begin to change situations. So God says, listen, in verse 19, he says, I've given you the keys to the kingdom. That means the king rules wherever he is. I've given you the keys to everything that pertains to life and godliness. So if he's giving me a key in the kingdom, that means I can do kingdom-like things. Wherever I go, I take this key and I access something. I walk through the door and I say, hey, I'm here. The key is here. I'm here. I'm the king's kid. I'm going through this door. Why? Because I can turn things on or off. I want you to know today that you are walking with power. You're walking with anointing. You're walking with authority. And you can turn some things around. All you got to do is learn how to use that key. Go through the door, knock it down, because y'all know that's about what I do. Knock it down and say, I'm coming after whatever is mine. So it says, I have the keys to the kingdom, and whatsoever I shall bind, that means I take control of this thing. It does not take control of me, but I control the situation. The thing is, some of us don't realize when we have a key that we actually can begin to turn things around and not let things bind us, but we bind it. I begin to say things out of my mouth and say, devil, I bind that in the name of Jesus. I've seen that before. I bind that. Loose it. That's not going to happen in my life. Why? Because I've seen it. And God has already given me keys to turn things around. So he says, you can bind things in heaven. Now I like that. I can bind things in heaven and I can bind it here on earth. So that means I can constrain some things. Right now you can begin to say, angels, I give you charge to begin to do this in my family. I give you charge to begin to set the atmosphere. I need you to go before me on my job. I need you to go before me at school. I need you to go before me and begin to reorchestrate some things. God has given you the key. He's given you And if you just realize that you have that power and the authority and the anointing, you begin to say, I already got the key. Now here's the thing. You can have a car, as I learned with Sister Melissa, and not have a key. And so we got these new inventions where you have a keyless car. But they don't have no backup. So you can get stuck without a key. If you don't have no key to get that keyless car started, you're in trouble. Somebody has to come and give you a jump. Somebody has to come and change some things for you. But as long as you got a key, you can begin to get things started. You don't have to rely on anybody else. You can change it yourself. 1 minute left, I do believe. Secondly, somebody say, I got the key. I can turn things on, but because I got a key, I can turn things off. That means, verse 19 says this, and whatsoever I shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven, and whatsoever I bound shall be bound. So that means, if I say something doesn't have authority to enter my life, it does not have authority to go any further. Why? Because I got a big brother named Jesus that's behind me. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. He's got my back, they got my front, and guess what else? The blood of Jesus covers everything else. So wherever I go, I realize this. If I say I bind that in the name of Jesus, and that the hope is under arrest, it's under constraint, it can't go any further. Why? Because I said I bind this in the name of Jesus. I've got the key to do whatever he says I can do. So, as much as I can turn things on, I can turn it off. Whatever's occurring in your life, I want you to know this. It doesn't have to stay. We like to say trouble don't last always. I like to say stop, put the brakes on, that's it. I'm not taking it anymore. Some of us need to begin to put our war clothes on, and like the man said on their day, this is war. You can't have my family, you can't have my increase, you can't have any of it. I'm burning it in the name of Jesus. Women, it's time for us to get back. Begin to be blessing things over our family. Begin to be blessing things over our home. Begin to be blessing things over our job. And begin to say, I bind it. Like the old mother said, in the name of Jesus. Lord, here. Woo! 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I've got the key. Now, back to that situation where I couldn't get the car started because it was keyless. But now, somebody brought a key and began to start it. And next thing you know, I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to press the key up against the marquee. That means when I press the key up against the marquee, it begins to say, vroom, vroom, and next thing you know, we got the right power. If you have the key, you have to understand that you have a key only because of the power and the anointing of Jesus' death and his resurrection. So when you use that key, make sure you're lined up. Make sure you have the right connection. Make sure you begin to press up and say, hey, I have a steady supply. Because it does no good to have a key if you don't know where it came from, how to use it, and who you belong to. Remember who gave you the key. He says, I have given you the key to the kingdom. I gave it to you. Don't misuse it.
All right.
Okay? So, even though some of us understand that we can turn things off and we can turn things on, we almost also remember that whoever gave you the key is who we're accountable to. So we must walk in the things of God, we must do the things of God, and we must always remember, don't forget your key. Don't leave home without it, because you're going to need to go through some doors on today that only God says you can go through. But if you don't have the key, you got to rely on somebody else to help you. On today, say, I got